Moving back onto my main playlist here, kind of struggled again, like I did a couple of weeks back, to come up with anything new. And then somebody that I'm subscribed to, you will know this guy if you've been around on this for a long time, Vlad9BT. The guy just shows images, but I have actually taken a couple of screenshots because I've struggled to even find images on this site, especially high quality ones or anything over 500 and 600 size. So I've at least got to mention his name this time. I've done this 3 times. The first time I didn't use any of his images at all. I found them myself. This is somewhere again that I've never even heard about, but there's a few things here that I won't mind pointing out. And you can see how my brain works when I look at this stuff. I mean, this thing definitely looks almost like it's got a thin layer of something volcanic over it, volcanic ash, maybe even flooding, but it is relatively thin. But then you see areas which have been broken away, and it almost looks marble-like, and then you see other areas that just look like sand. It does indeed look like some type of concrete. The main point, as always, is that it's not carved away from the mountainside here. I'll show you how there's just cracks running all the way through this thing. You could not carve something as intricate as this, or even consider it, because you just know within a few years it'd just be a right mess. So what do you think all these square holes and larger square boxes are that's across this wall here and throughout this site? I know what it is. Like I say, you've only got 2 things that it can be re-solidified concrete, some type of clay, that they smothered the house in, or it is literally volcanic ash, and that's why you get the pot marking that's all over this site. The same way that if you've got wet clay on the floor and it just dries out in the sun, it'll get that pot marking. It's not where they've been chipping away at it with a chisel and chiseling this site out like archaeologists might want you to believe. And so I found a track for you to layer over a few images for 2.5 minutes before I come back towards the end. There's something extra that I want to prove that goes with what I started with here. So at the beginning of the video, when I was pointing out the holes beaming pieces of wood and the reason why it's cracking in certain positions on the area that I'm showing here, I will show you it from multiple positions Well, there's an area, if you go search this site, Collybrassus, the main area, the main tourist trap is this piece here. Well, I'll start with this. The circular thing that's at the front, now miscoloured, they'd say it was a plaque. Well, I've noticed that it's the same shape, same width exactly as what's above it, almost like it fell down from there. And for some reason, they've placed it above the door. So it used to be some type of plaque shield or something that went way above that. So that's just something that I picked up on, but the same markings that's within that niche that I just showed you is also on this area here, almost like the entire mound here was built by hand, and it is literally something volcanic and flooding that's just covered this site, because within this there's definitely something structural.